I didn't have this idea. I just want all of the painkillers to know I didn't have this idea. This is Boone's idea. He says, "Yo, we need to have exes on," and I'm like, "Not me, baby."
Her name is Toia, man. She is my ex. Welcome to the PainKillers.
That's your title.
The ex.
Okay.
I was trying to date her, and she
I
wasn't
would
giving
tell
me
him no.
no attention. Like, she was like, boy, bye. No.
For real?
Like,
He
yeah.
was a pastor. I had noticed that Boone was kind of depressed during that time. And I don't know if it was from what previously happened. And I was like, you know what? That's what you were doing when we were engaged. You were suffering in silence and nobody knew what you were actually dealing with.
Toia comes in there, puts everybody out, and I'm sitting in my chair, and she's holding my hand. I'm crying. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Just talk to me. And I just couldn't even, felt like I would let her down if I moved forward with this.
Yeah. This is still a lot more unpacking that needs to happen here. But so let's pause this.
Yeah.
We'll come back for part 2 and we'll finish up this conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
If there's some medication I could take to make me wanna hate you and kill this ache. If there's some medication I could take, no I would do it. But they don't got a pill for
All right, so we're back. We had to take a break. Boone got a little emotional, and it was real deal emotions in here, man. So
You can't fake that, man.
No, you
It's a real
can't.
conversation, man.
No,
It's
but
killing the
that's-
pain.
That's it. It's killing the pain.
We painkillers, bro.
That's it, man.
So after it ended, I remember, like, she didn't want to talk to me. She had nothing to say to me. And this probably happened maybe about, 3, 4, 5 weeks, something like that. And then she started coming back to church. And
I never stopped going
You
back.
never stopped going,
Yeah, I
yeah.
never stopped.
so she kept coming, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just, I don't even know if we had a conversation when you kept coming or something. It was
Nope.
just, yeah.
Mm-mm. You told everyone, well, you told, I guess, the administration that
I think my boy
your
and my
staff,
step.
yeah, that we were done. And I was just trying to save face at
Yeah.
that point. It wasn't really even about me. I was just trying to save face. And then one day I just decided, like, I'm not about to keep doing this. And I stopped going.
Yeah.
And then I asked her to meet with me. I was like, can we meet?
Yeah.
And we met at Panera Bread, and I remember she came in there with a big old black trash bag. You remember that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you put everything that I ever bought you.
Yeah. Everything. The ring. The bags, jewelry.
the gifts. Like,
Oh, now wait a minute, Toy.
Everything.
Bruh.
Everybody thought I kept that ring too.
yeah,
I gave it back.
she gave. I mean, bro, a trash bag with everything that I ever had bought her.
Yeah.
Like ever. Period. And so we're talking. I'm like, why? And she was like, I don't need anything that reminds me of us or you. And I was so, like, even more broken. Do you remember that conversation that we had at Panera Bread that day?
But then I do remember it. I remember you also telling me this is when the Monique show was on BET.
Oh, dang, I forgot about that.
This clown
I forgot about that.
said, hey, I just want to let you know that I went on a Monique show and they asked a question. And it was something about being single.
It was a staged question. So one of the
Yeah.
producers at the time, Lemmy, one of my other friends, was producing the show, and they needed somebody, sometimes they make it look like it's a real question, but they wanted a staged question. And of course they knew about, so they was asking about singles. And I think the question was, he said, get up there and say, why is it so hard for a man who has everything to find a woman who wants them not for their stuff or something like that? So I asked that question, and then Monique gives me an answer. And so I'm like, I don't want it to come across like this was something that I did and caught off guard. So I said, I just want to let you know, I did the stage question for Moni, for the producers. I mean, it had nothing to do with you because it was still fresh or whatever.
Yeah.
And I told her, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still didn't make
I
it
totally
better.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it still didn't make it no better.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Because, I
Still
mean,
didn't
we
make it no
had
better.
just ended, and it was like, when people see this, they going to think, like,
Yeah.
oh, she really was a
Yeah,
gold digger.
she wanted him for his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case.
So, oh man, cause this just got heavy, and part of it is because Boone and I are best friends. I know that space. Now I didn't even know him then.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just know that space. I know the feeling the need to jump through the hoops and
Right.
perform and be and still battling your own personal
Right.
issues and insecurities.
Right.
You know, so many people have this idea that, you know, oh, you're pastoring a church, you got it together.
Right.
No, I just choose to
No.
put my flaws on display.
Facts.
Exactly.
I've been called. I can't run from that.
Right.
So I gotta be obedient to that, but it still doesn't remove my humanity.
Right.
You know. So when Boone got him, I was feeling that because I know that sitting in the space for days,
Yeah.
The
you know,
exact same thing.
not wanting to do anything, not even TV on, but you're not looking at
Right.
it.
Right.
It's just white noise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So through this process, getting back to how did you all like get back to friendship and bond to where y'all are now?
So I still am friends with not a lot of people, a couple of the young ladies that went to church, Boone's old church. And they would invite me like to the church for christenings or weddings or
Baptisms.
baptisms. And I would go, but I was back to Toya. I would run out after service before everybody else was gone. So before he would even find out I was there, I was already gone. And they would tell him like, hey, did you know Toya was here? And he was
Right.
like, no. So he would text me or call me and be like, hey, why you didn't speak? I was like, I just had to go. And to me, that was just keeping the friction down. I just didn't want to deal with it because I was over it.
Yeah.
It was like I wasn't hurting anymore. I was kind of like, I'm good. Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then one day, someone sent me a message on Facebook. And I just looked at my messages and I was like, I don't know this lady. She was like, are you the ex-fiance of Marquis Boone at Fresh Start? And I was like, who is this? And so I asked one of the young ladies that went to his church, I was like, hey, do you know who this lady is? She was like, it looks like his ex-wife's mom. And I was like, why is she contacting me? So I emailed him. I was like, handle this before I do. I was like, because I said, regardless of whatever happened between us, I'm not trying to give up no dirt. It's no questions you have for me that I'm willing to answer. So I was like, hey, handle her before I send her a message and handle her.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what happened after that because we still wasn't talking all the time.
Yeah. She did that, and then I think that just like for me, I was just like, this is what I knew about Toya, why she deserved the best. And so in my head, I was just like, I want my friend back. I want to, even though we're not together, like, yo, I feel still indebted to her to make sure that whatever she needs, that I can be there too. And I think we went out to eat or something like that, maybe.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it was just a gradual
Another
rebuild.
organic
just-
type
it
of,
was
yeah.
just-
It
It
was
was like,
organic again.
Okay.
it wasn't like,
just-
hey, we need to be friends again or not. It
Right,
was just like,
Hey,
no.
you better be my friend.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
wasn't the purpose at all.
And I
Because
think-
I was like, because when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah, and I think she
You seem like a no nonsense type.
Yeah,
She
I'm
is.
done. I'm just
But
done.
she what she did was she said to me, she was like, I just got to get this off my chest one last time or something like that. And she did, and I just took it. And she's like, okay, now we can move forward and be friends or something like that.
Yeah, I
like you
probably
remember
pushed
that?
it
Like,
out, maybe.
yeah, I think so.
Probably so.
Because you gotta allow the person to live in their reality of what they felt in that moment.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like it was equal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I let that, and then I think after that it was just like, okay, we can move on. And I gave her my word that I would be there for her. And so when I wouldn't be there, she would remind me, hey, bruh, I don't call you all the time. When I call you, you know.
Yeah, you better pick up this phone.
Like, yeah.
You pick up this phone.
Yeah, so like, and that's how the rebuild started.
Yeah.
But like to this day, I trust Toya. Like Toya knows, outside of probably one other person, what my biggest insecurity is and what my biggest fear is. Like I trust her that much, and I still share this stuff with her.
Yeah.
So then when you fast forward now to me saying, okay, I retired from the church and I'm just living my life, it's the seeds that Toya planted in me prior to our breakup, bro, that has allowed me to be free.
Yeah.
And so even now when we talk or stuff like that, she'll say to me like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
you now living the way
Yeah.
I was trying
I
to
was
get
trying
you.
to get you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes it probably takes the heartbreak
Yeah.
for us to realize, like, yo, I can live
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
with no obligation, like the permission to live.
Right.
What are you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I would just remind him all the time. I think when you were talking about retiring, and I was just like, I feel not the discernment. I was just like,
You
I
got
feel
discernment.
like it's time for you to live. And I remember him inviting me to the service that he was going to tell everybody he was retiring, and I knew it. And I was like, my son didn't sleep well that night. So I texted him. I said, I'm not going to be able to come. But I knew that's what he was going to do.
That's
And I knew people was going to blame it on me for just showing up out of the blue. And I was like, I'm not going.
So what I did
This
was
is
I
your-
knew that when I finally made this decision, I was like, there are 3 groups that I want to be there. Of course, my family, and then Toya. And I knew I wanted that support, and so I invited her. She was like, "I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
I did have
Yeah,
plans.
but
on
I never
coming.
told her what I was gonna do. But yeah,
Yeah, I knew that's what it was. But my son did have a horrible night of sleep
Yeah.
that night, and I was just like, I can't wake him up right now to try to come to service. But I called him afterwards, and I was just like, how did everything go? And he told me, he was like, I feel good. I feel better that I made the choice. And I'm happy for him. Like, really, because he was not living when he was a pastor. I was jumping out of airplanes.
She was doing
He
it
wouldn't
all,
even
yeah.
go with me.
yeah.
And I was like, you can just come and sit. He was like, nope. He was going to somebody's wedding that day or something. I was like, all right. So I went with one of the deacons and his, I think it was his niece.
Yep.
He was married. He knew. We both decided
Yeah.
that we were going to go jump out this plane that day.
Yes.
So, well, for one, this was loaded. So, but Toya,
Yes.
let me go back. Let me go back here. During the rebuilding process, did you have to address the past feelings that you had, and then also, like, was that a trust thing, like with Boone, like where, hey, even in friendship, can you trust to give me like the intimate feelings, like when he was sitting in that theater, and you know, like even in the friendship aspect, like did you have to have that conversation with Boone and say, yo, like you got to be able to give me this stuff?
No, I don't think so.
No, it was more like she was just like, I need someone to be me to me. That's all, because that's who she is to everybody else. So then
Yeah.
when Toya is in a moment where she may need a listening ear or emotional support,
Right.
everybody that she's been that to is no longer available. So then me being on this side and hearing her vent, it wasn't her asking me to be it. It was like, I naturally can become that because I know what she has been. So when I'm hearing her saying, yeah, I did this for that person, and then I called them last week, they're not available, and I answered my phone call, blah, blah, I'm like, I'm here. What's
Yeah.
up? You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it came to that natural place or whatever. I don't think she has ever made a demand.
Yeah,
It's just
no.
been, yeah. I think Toya is a type like she can survive alone, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But she's not going to make it a big deal if you don't want to be a part.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
And I think I didn't have any expectations
Okay.
this time around. I think I was more happy that he was able to live now.
Live.
Yeah, I think I tell you that all the time.
All the time.
Like, I am happy for you. You know, I mean, even though he'll
Like she
go
may text me, yeah,
days
she'll may text
without
me,
texting
and then
me back.
I'll like I have like 700 text messages, like, and then I'll get to it, and then like maybe 3 days later, and I'll say my bad, I missed your text or whatever, and then she'll say to me, she would say, oh no, I'm just knowing you alive and you living, like
Yeah.
that's all that matters. So, but it'd be like that kind of stuff. Or if I go longer, let's say it's been a week or two, then she'll call me and then I'll answer, and she'll say, are you okay? You alive? You breathing? Like,
Yeah.
smoke
Yeah.
signal or
Yeah.
something like that. It's nothing like nagging or crazy.
Yeah,
it's just
it's never been that way. though.
never.
Yeah.
Like,
never
I mean,
never.
I mean, it sounds like that's been the foundation of from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like no pressure, grassroots, allowing it to become from a true, genuine place.
Yeah,
Right.
and she's very like I like that she's open and honest and direct the same way I'm able to be, right? But I like that in where we are now, like we still do business together. We still talk about everything. I still talk to her family, like her brother, me and her brother are doing a real estate deal. Like, so it was never like, bad, but we rebuilt it or whatever to be stronger. And even when I brought this idea to her about the podcast, she was like, "You sure you want me on that?" Like, it wasn't like, no, this is
Yeah.
a private thing.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
she's not ashamed of me publicly.
Yeah.
Like when she talked to people that knew us when we were engaged, and they be like, "You were who?" And she'd be
Yes.
like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So why you still talking? It's like it's not in a shame. It's not that me. You talk about this all the time. They want to be friends with you privately,
Yeah.
but they don't want to accept you publicly or
Yeah.
admit that you. But she's not like that. Like
I've never been like
Yeah.
that with him. Even when Boone was bigger, I think.
yeah, like that was
he
another thing.
had-
Like I used to think she rejected me because I was big, but it was like it was never that. Yeah,
it was
like
never that. We actually were engaged, and you were bigger.
I was bigger. I
yeah.
lost some weight.
Yeah, lost something. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
You was on the trim down.
I was
yeah.
coming
You was on the
trimming,
trim down, you know what I'm
He
saying?
was working
We
on
were-
himself.
We were getting it, you know what I'm saying?
Working on himself. But yeah, it was never about that to me,
Right.
appearances or anything. It was just that we had a cool relationship, a friendship. We had a connection as friends, and that was it. That was all that was important to me. I never thought that we would be back friends. I
Yeah.
didn't, because
Yeah.
we went so long without talking.
yeah.
I think it was like 8-9 years that we didn't speak.
it
After
wasn't that long.
How
No,
long
you
was
said
it?
8-9
Oh,
years.
maybe 6.
No, girl.
It was 6.
No, it
When
wasn't
did you
6.
get married?
I got married in 2014 or 15. I don't remember. When was that? 15? 15?
Oh, okay. So maybe it was
No, so we broke up.
Sade
Hold
in
on,
this
so I'm
month.
trying. All the years running together. Okay, so we broke up in 20.
Sade.
10,
No,
20,
11 or
11.
12.
Dang.
What was it, 11 or 12? Yeah.
Okay.
11?
It might have been no.
Well, I got a
12.
question. Forget all of
12. It was
this.
12.
Forget all
It was
this, because
12. It had to be 12.
here's the reality. We
You
don't
know,
care.
you know,
all right.
our engagement website's still up. I can pull it up and see what
Oh,
the date
wait.
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a
pull it
minute.
up. Pull it
Bruh,
up.
that joint's
I
still
thought
up
he
there.
paid to have it taken down. I thought he paid to have
Do
it
not
taken
put that
down.
up there.
So, but no.
And don't go looking.
Facts.
Nosy.
I am.
You're right.
I am. I just want to let it be known. I'm about to find that bug. So, check out my Instagram story. It's about to be on it. Nah, I'm just joking.
That's hilarious.
I'm joking. But I do have a question though, because I think this is important. Boone and myself have this in common, where we shut down.
Yeah, she hates that.
Right.
Yeah.
He does it
Right.
all the time.
So like we'll be going through some of our worst times, and
That's
we
why
just,
we're so close, AD.
yeah, because now
We
what I
could be
tell
in the
you.
same house. He'll shut down. I'll be shut down too. I'll be like,
Yeah, listen, but if I shut down for a long period of time, like Boone to reach
I'm
out,
flying
like, yo,
out there.
like I'm coming to LA,
Yeah.
or yo, I'm coming. When I was living in Huntsville, yo, what's up? Like, I need to know you all right, vice
Right.
versa, right? I just want to talk for a moment. Like, how did you feel
That's
when you were seeing him deal with these emotions, that
Yeah, as a man. Yeah.
that depression state? Because I think it's important for women to hear how to necessarily not be pressing in and be adamant,
Right.
but also still be present to be a help, because at times you feel like you're helpless because
Right.
I care for somebody. I love this person. I want to see this person, thrive and be what I know them to be.
Right.
But I have to wait for them to decide to be that.
Yeah, I mean, I felt helpless.
Mm-hmm.
I think one time he was working on your master's and I was working on mine
Yep.
too.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally, he
You
was
would
in
bring your
the,
study and
I
your-
was
your
in a
stuff.
study
Yeah,
doing my work,
yeah.
and he was in the kitchen
Dang,
doing
yeah,
his.
yep.
And I could hear his music playing, and I was just like, this is so damn depressing.
Yeah,
like,
because
we're
I
not
put it on
even
repeat. Like,
talking it. Yeah, and he was repeating this song. It was like for 4 hours, the same song. I don't even know what song it was.
I don't remember neither.
I can't remember what
Yeah.
song it was, but I felt so helpless, and I got up and I was like, look, I'm going to McDonald's to get me a hot chocolate. You
remember
want
that, yeah.
something? And I had an attitude because I was like, this is some bullshit. I did
Yeah.
not get engaged to deal with this type of, you know,
Yeah.
foolishness, but I did. I'm not the type of person that's going to nag you.
Yeah.
I'll ask you how you doing. I'll figure out if I can help you. If I can't, I'll just sit back and kind of be present or observe. But it had gotten to the point he just shut down completely. He was listening to everybody else, and I was like, he no longer heard me.
I think that was a perception though, because it wasn't that I was listening to everybody else. I was just hearing everybody, including you. So it was never that I chose their voices over yours.
It was
I
just
was-
so much.
I was just no. I think it was that. Yes, it was so much, but I think your perception that I chose their voice over yours is because you was with me more. Once I listened to them, I could go home or I could leave them. It doesn't mean that I took what they said and said that was my decision. I think with you is because we was together so much more. It may have come across that I was listening to them over you, but the truth was
Yeah,
I
it
wasn't.
did.
I was shut down on both parties, but I played a role when I was around them. I was able to be just whoever I was at that moment when I was with you. So if I was sad in those moments and I got in front of people, I had to pretend I wasn't sad. But when I
see
was
that.
with you, I could be sad.
And that part right there
Yeah.
is so paramount. And I think that because we have those people that are in our intimate circles, and then it's like, you want me to be really me. But then if I'm really me, then you're saying, why you not like, oh, you must like being around them more. No, I perform when I'm there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm me when I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because I feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
And then you look at it like, oh, well, they're getting the best parts of you. No, they're getting the performance of me.
Absolutely.
They're getting Superman. You're getting Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And I was
Yeah.
getting the sad, depressed Boone. And they were getting the lively, like the one that I was used to being friends with.
Correct.
But I was dealing with everything on the back
Yep.
end. And I just, at one point, I was like, I just didn't know how to handle it. And I
Yeah.
remember when he called off the engagement the day at church, his mom actually stopped me. And I don't think I told you this. I don't know what I said to her, but she was like, if neither one of y'all are happy, y'all just need to let it go.
Wow.
And I was just like, I kind of sat there and I was like, well, maybe she right. But see, I knew that I couldn't break up with him because I didn't know. I guess I knew how fragile he
Right.
was. And I was like, I don't know what Boone gonna do if I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
I remember you saying that to me after the fact.
after it.
Yeah.
So I kind of was already checked out like a couple weeks before he said what he said. And
Because it was weighing on you.
yeah, it was weighing on me. I was just like, how am I benefiting in this? People talking about me.
Right.
People,
And
you
that was
know,
another
had
part. Like I was
issues
just
with
like,
me.
yeah, it was like she was such a source for me, but so many people didn't want her around me or whatever. But I was like, but y'all don't realize what she does for me, you know?
But and I think that's why we have to be very, very selective on who we allow into our spaces. Because my
100.
thing is, if you love me, you want who brings
Who
the
loves-
best out of
yeah.
me.
Right.
If they love me, you want
You
them
want
around
them.
me.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we get, especially in the church setting, we get so defensive of people that we're like, yo, like that's my leader, or that's my pastor. But then it's like, who's loving on your pastor for your pastor to be the
Absolutely.
best pastor that they
Right.
can be.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily have to fit your perspective, your mode, your
Right.
idea, your concept.
Right.
To this day,
Mm-hmm.
my mama still has our family photo up in her house with Toya in it. To this day.
Matter of fact, I think I see it.
That was a horrible picture, yo. That was a horrible picture. And I'm
yeah.
like, how disrespectful.
Yeah.
This man I got married and they still
Yeah.
got that picture
Yep.
up in their house.
Yep.
Like, I was like,
Yep.
that's not.
Okay.
To this day. He like, to this day.
Ooh, I was
Ain't
going to
nothing
say
changed.
something.
To this day.
To this day.
To this day. His daddy asks about me to this
Yeah,
day.
to this day. Like, whenever he called me and I'm with her or something like that, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm going to call you back, I'm with Toya. He's like, what y'all back together? I'm like, why you whispering? Like, why you whispering? Like, why you whispering? Like, he'll say that, whatever, and then I'll tell Toya, and then she just started laughing. She's like, your daddy crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
So, because this is a question I have.
come
this
on,
is a question
PainKiller.
I have.
Come on,
Come with
PainKiller.
it.
Hold on.
Here you go.
Clear. Could it be resuscitated? That's all I'm asking. I mean, it could there ever be? And I know I'm putting y'all on the spot. This is what it is.
Oh, no. I think we already talked
Yeah,
about
we talked
this.
about this. Yeah.
For real?
I think right now, like, we're just in two different aspects of life.
I
have a
am where
son.
she was,
Yes.
and she's.
It's like we
yeah.
reverse type roles.
And she says it to me all the time, like who Toya was to me and try to get me to become, or the seed she was planting, I have become that person now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm doing what she was doing. She was traveling everywhere, dude. But I was like, no, I can't go. I mean, she was taking her mama to France, to London. She was going to beaches and like
This
everywhere.
dude wouldn't even go swimming.
Yeah, I wouldn't even get in the water.
Oh,
I was like,
like, yeah,
he was holy.
bruh.
Holy.
Like,
Can't show
seriously.
your legs off. What you mean?
So we in.
I gotta
Like,
cover
so
up.
I am her now, right?
Yeah.
And she's a mom now, like,
Yeah.
and she's madly in love with her son, and she doesn't necessarily want any more kids, and
Nope.
like she, yeah, like
That's not a question.
yeah, we.
That
I
is
mean,
a
we talk
fact.
about all
Okay.
this stuff, so
All right,
you know,
but you all
period
have
on
talked
it.
about it.
yeah, but I told her like, as long as she's alive and living, I'm going to take care of her.
Yeah.
And what this may look like, I don't know, but you know, it could be crazy, but that's just where I am, how I feel.
Man,
like
listen,
Toya,
don't call it crazy.
Yeah.
It's
I-
whatever
yeah, it's
works
what,
for
yeah,
you.
it works. Like,
Right.
I think we put pressure on ourselves to
We
fit
do.
Yeah, facts.
fit a mold
We
that
do.
like
That
makes
society
sense,
has
makes sense,
placed on
that
us, yeah.
society has made. You came to the conference and talked about money ain't real.
It ain't real,
right?
bro. Yeah.
So it was like for
It don't make sense
everybody.
to them, yeah.
Everybody was
Yeah.
like, "Wait a minute, hold on, what you mean?" And
Yep.
you broke it down, and we was like, "Oh." And I think that's the same way with people's lives.
Yeah.
My thing is, do what makes you happy.
Yep.
Be with who makes you happy. However that looks, companionship.
Yep.
Right.
Being there, providing,
Absolutely.
however that looks. Like,
Yep.
do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I would do anything for Toya. Like, even Toya, like, you know, I have places like overseas, and she's like, "Do I have a room?" Absolutely.
Yeah, but
like,
where's my room?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely like,
Yeah,
Where's
I don't
my
have
room?
like that's how I feel. Like, you know what I'm
that's the
saying?
same
Like,
thing I said though. I told that nigga, I
Like,
said, "Where's
where's
my
my
room?"
All I need is the ticket, right?
I need a key and I need the garage. I mean the gate opener because they ain't got no garage.
Right.
I mean I got a gate to get on the
Exactly.
compound.
Exactly.
I just put me a spot out there by the lake.
But
Yeah.
him, though, I'll do the same thing for him
sure,
too,
yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
It does not matter if we're in relationships or not. Like, I tell everybody, like, my ex-fiance, he's one of my friends.
Yeah.
And that's just
it
what it
starts
is.
a whole
I mean,
conversation.
it's
like,
nothing.
"Ooh, huh?"
Before we wrap this up, because I gotta ask a question to that. So you start dating somebody.
She has.
If if they do you put parameters around the relationship with Boone? Do you like if they're not okay with y'all's relationship?
If somebody said I couldn't be friends with Toya, then I probably wouldn't be with that person. I feel like for me, I feel like what I have with her now, I don't have the time to build that over if this doesn't work.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I don't deal with people who give me parameters.
cause she don't do it.
I don't give people parameters. You know what I'm saying? I don't deal with people who give me parameters.
Told you my nigga.
Like if you try to give me parameters,
I am telling you, Toya is my.
I
Boom.
just don't do that.
I'm just telling you now.
dude, like,
every day when we talk, bro,
I
I'm be
promise
like,
you.
hey, bro, tell Toya I said what's up.
And I'm gonna start
Yeah.
three-way. We're gonna have three-way conversations.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
put
Put us in a
never
group.
put parameters on
Group
him.
chat.
Ever. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
no,
never,
I don't do
ever.
parameters.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, no.
I'm
Even
I'm
if
with
I
it.
didn't like the person, I just
Yeah.
it just was like, well, that's your friend, and that's what it is. Like, I'm not gonna say you can't hang with her or him.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
Yeah.
And I think that comes, and honestly, man, like I think, you know, having dealt with like relationship, I think it comes from a person who's very strong and confident and secure in themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing out of the 18 years that I've known Toya,
Yeah.
like she's secure and she's fine with herself,
Yeah.
right? I have never seen that insecure girl come out of her like I see in other relationships,
Man,
right?
Man.
So she was dealing with an insecure dude, well, boy, but she was always that secure woman.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's a mic drop.
That's seriously, man, because that secured woman was trying to secure the boy in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, that's
with
perfect, yeah.
every chick that I've dealt with, I seen that insecurity come out. So now we got two insecure people in a relationship, and it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing with this was it was never that my insecurities
Yeah.
got the best of me.
Yeah.
I've never seen insecurities come out of her, even when there were other women present.
And that's the thing, because we, you know, our other episode about being, you know, a public figure.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a secure partner.
Facts.
You got to, and then to think, I think we live in a false world when we get in relationships
Yes.
that feel like, oh, it ain't gonna be no flirting. Like in business deals, you flirting.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, but
we
see,
get this business
Toya would
deal.
say something like that. She
Get
was
this
like,
bag.
Toya would say something like that. She would say something like, "Do whatever you gotta do to make it work. Like get the deal done. Like it's."
Well, not absolutely.
But
Yeah,
it would be a,
yeah, but
it would
nah,
be like a
no,
statement.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah,
it would be
yeah,
a statement. You
yeah,
know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
Like not
Within
not
limits,
sure.
you know,
sir.
factual or whatever. But
Right.
yeah,
But I do think it's a reality
Yeah.
to it.
It
But
is.
yeah.
But you know, like, and then you got to know who you are dating and who you're
Right.
dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times people
Yep.
live in the fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we give out prescriptions today, man.
Yeah, man.
I just want to say this publicly on this podcast. Thank you so much
I thought you was
for.
gonna ask her to marry him. I said he gonna propose.
Well, technically, we already married.
Okay.
In this-
the site's still up.
Yeah.
Let me go.
He's so stupid, bruh. It is so wrong with
Is
you,
it
AD.
really still up?
The last time I looked, I think it was like, yeah. But I just
Watch
wanted to
this
say thank
Investor
you
Gadget.
for loving me, for doing this. I am committed to you for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
And I mean
You're
that for real.
welcome. You're
For real.
welcome.
I love you so much.
Love
man.
you too.
Yo. She got a whole moment. What's the
This boy-
prescriptions today?
Okay,
man?
so you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Hey,
like,
man.
you know, you should go first because you sat here and you've got it all out of us. So what's your
Yeah.
prescription
Man,
to
listen.
the patients today
Listen.
out of this?
My prescription for the patients today is simple. Do and be with who brings out the best in you, and do what makes you happy. And you don't have to explain shit to nobody.
Period.
Yep.
Simple.
Period.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It's our lives, and I want us to really take ownership of that. And I think that those that were raised in the church, those that have this idea, whatever the case may be, it stifles our growth in us being individuals. And we got the right to live, man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We got the right to live.
Yeah. Toya, what's your prescription to the patients?
My prescription.
Yeah. Because you're an avid listener.
I am. I do support. I would say just be yourself. Don't change yourself for anyone. I think that's about it. Just, don't worry about what other people have to say about
Yeah.
who's your friend,
Yeah.
why y'all got back or why y'all became friends again. Because a lot of people believe you shouldn't be forever exes or
Right.
you should never be friends with your ex. But sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're better off being friends, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before I get my prescription, I was going to say this just to make it very, very clear to the people listening, because, people will listen or view and have preconceived notions.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear, Toya is a businesswoman. She don't need me. She has her own money. She has multiple companies.
Yeah.
She has real estate. She has a trucking company.
She's a boss.
She's a boss. So she's not being my friend because she needs money or she needs the benefit. Like, she's securing her. And I wanted to make that clear. Because, somebody might listen to her watch and be like, she just need him or she just playing a role or whatever. And I want to be clear that this chick is fine. Yeah. It's straight. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say this before you get your prescription?
Yeah.
Are you still friends with Boone's mom?
When we see each other,
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
don't
think,
call each other, but absolutely it's love. When
Yeah.
I see
I was just
My
asking.
mom asked about her too and stuff like that.
yeah.
Because
And I think for the fact that she didn't cut her out of the picture, like
I'm just saying, like,
But when we were together, we were we were
my
friends.
mom says
she
to this
would
day,
call me
yeah,
before
her.
she called him.
yeah.
So my mom
Yeah.
says to this day, like, out of all the relations I had, Toya was her favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Well, I was just asking because, like,
she said the same thing with James. Oh, James said the same thing too.
yeah, because
oh,
okay. Because I mean,
That's my
like,
brother, y'all.
I know, like with my mom and like some previous chapters, exes or whatever. Like, they can go see my mom. At that point, that's not my ex. That's my mama friend. That's my mama friend.
No, but when we were done, I
My
cut
mama
everybody
friend.
off.
She did,
Yeah, I
yeah.
cut everybody off.
Yeah, I
when
feel
we were
you.
done.
I'm just saying, like, because when I was younger, I remember I pulled up at my mama's house with my new girlfriend. Ex
And your
was
ex
there,
there.
and then like I
crickets.
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 It was cool for me. I walked in.
Right.
Hey, this so and so. Hey, this.
Yeah.
And then
That's
like
my mama friend.
So we get in the car. She was like, "Oh, was that so?" I was like, "No, that's my mama friend." Ain't got nothing to do with me. That chapter's over with. That's my mama's friend.
I don't think he would ever
that's
say
Miss
that.
Vanessa.
Like, that's my mama's
That's
friend.
Miss-
No, he wouldn't ever say that.
I'm gonna put a miss in front of her. I'm put a miss in front of her first name. Oh, that's Miss Vanessa. That's my mama friend.
And by the way, I dated my mama's friend, y'all.
Right.
That's my mama's friend. All right, but what's your prescription, man? We gotta get out
Man,
of
my
here.
prescription, man, to all the patients is very, very simple, man. There is and can be relationships after the relationship.
Yeah.
That's good.
You've been listening to the Painkillers, man. I'm Marquis.
And I'm AD.
Until next time.
We out.
That was good, yeah. That was good.
Good job.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
For sure.